Just 10 more years, 10 more years, and I'll finally be free of the shackles of hello there, everybody, and welcome to our newest commentary.
We're not late, we promise. We're not late.
By the way, I just want to point out the irony that a company associated with Sony made a game you could potentially play on Nintendo.
And it's a Traveler's Tales game.
Welcome back to Mickey Mania, the timeless adventures of me, Mickey Mouse.
And we're doing this, recording it anyway, and hopefully, if we're fast enough, we can have it to James in time for tomorrow, and we'll be just in time to be late.
You know, right?
We'll be just in time to be tardy.
So am I looking at the title of the video right? That it's a redo?
Yes.
Yeah, why is it a redo?
Basically, me, James, and Becca did this game like years ago.
That's right. I remember.
There's kind of a quota that James wants to redo most, if not all, the games we did.
90 years ago.
Yep.
Wow.
In about 2 months.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Mouse.
Yeah, we were recording this on literally the last day of his 90th birthday.
But yeah, just real quick, go ahead and explain the whole gimmick behind this wonderful game.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, go ahead.
Easy does it there, Mortimer. So Mickey Mania is pretty much a 2D platformer, pretty typical of the time period, where Mickey Mouse himself is literally traversing throughout multiple years of his career in, well, being a cartoon character. Starting off with one of his very first cartoons, Steamboat Willie.
Does it explain how he's doing this?
No.
They just play along. They just play along with the idea that Mickey's pretty much traveling through time.
You know, technically, Steamboat Willie was not his first cartoon. It was Plain Crazy.
Yeah, it's Plain Crazy. I was about to
Willie was
say. I
actually
think I brought that up in the
sound cartoon.
Yeah, the first one was actual audio and the music.
Yeah, I think I brought that up in the original take as well.
Back then, Celia and I saw at the Walt Disney Family Museum, which one of these days I probably should invite other people like we to come check out. It's actually really cool. They explain how the way they did it was the way they animated the sound and everything. They had the animation happening, but they also made a quick little like bouncing ball animation to act as a metronome for people playing music to the cartoon.
Really?
And that's how they kept time.
Yeah. Yeah,
Hey,
that is how
so,
they did it.
Steamboat Willie in color. What a sin.
So, James, how does this game control? What are we throwing? What are we picking up? What the heck's with the little, like, hitchhiking fist up there?
Hitchhiking fist. Okay, so basically, Mickey controls pretty naturally. He can run, he can jump, he can throw marbles at his opponents, and for this game, he can only throw marbles. It's not like Castle of Illusion where it changes from apples to marbles to whatever the heck else they put in that game.
Oh,
Yeah.
we killed him.
And Pete is dead.
Yeah.
Fine.
He'll come back later,
color.
don't worry.
Oh,
Oh, come on, that's silly. You can never truly kill a cartoon character.
holy crap!
Yeah,
Is that 3D in this game?
Except you can with dip.
Yeah, we did.
God, no. Oh
But yeah,
my
just-
God, it's dip!
But anyway, just to answer Logan's question, yes, there are bits of 3D because, to give them credit for all their faults, Traveler's Tales were actually pretty experimental when it comes to like NES, Super Nintendo, and Genesis games.
And it's, especially nowadays, we're all treated to have such a glorious gift like John Burton's Gamepad account, where he pretty much chronicles all the tech of the trade he did way back in his early days of Traveler's Tale.
Oh, nice. There we go.
So much so that I'm actually going to go ahead and share a link with you guys in the description below, so in case you want to check on those juicy details on how he created such games like Mickey Mania, Crash Twinsanity, and so on and so forth.
I mean,
Actually,
Willie.
did he start showing stuff at Twinsanity? Because I don't remember seeing that.
He did.
So wait, does that mean Mickey's real name was Willie?
No, that's the name of the steamboat.
Pretty much.
Now we
Oh, you
make
know,
it
that
jump
reminds...
difficulty.
Actually, before we move on, have you guys ever heard of Mickey Mouse and the Timeless River?
Yes.
That sounds familiar, actually.
Well, whatever the Timeless River is, isn't that what the world in Kingdom Hearts 2 eventually got named after?
That was Timeless
Yeah,
River.
actually.
But, what I'm referring to is actually a comic book that was made in Italy, I believe, where it basically spun a twist on the whole Steamboat Willie tale, and it actually had a pretty nice... It was actually a really interesting story involving Mickey and Pete trying to recover it after it had been drowned into the devil's poolside or whatever they called it.
Huh.
Let's see.
You can, if you guys are curious, you can actually find it on the iOS services book app. And honestly, it's worth a check. It's a really nice read, even if it does carry a few iffy It kind of lampoons on some stereotypes of the time, so be wary of that.
This-
Anyway, moving on.
Yeah,
We've
sounds
pretty much come to our
familiar.
first.
I just wanted to say that sounds.
Yeah.
That book sounds familiar.
We'll check it out after this.
I'll show you guys in post. But
Actually-
anyway,
Yeah, wait, no, hang on. James, where are we? Well, this looks like a stark contrast to the previous one.
well,
also harder.
to many people who've ever played Mickey Mania for the first time, we've pretty much come to our first wall in the playthrough, the Mad Doctor.
Oh, I
It's
thought
a-
Halloween was over.
This game has some very steep walls and difficulty.
Yeah.
Yes.
Whenever a skeleton falls apart, every bone that falls apart has a hitbox.
Yes.
These bats blend right in the walls.
So it's a hazard.
Yeah, that's not tricky dicky at all. There is a neat little exploit in this game where stuff that technically explodes or is meant to explode when they hit the ground, you can actually phase past them with a jump,
Nice.
assuming they don't land on the
Oh,
ground.
geez,
yet.
then this part.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
this
yeah.
part.
Yeah. Anyway, I want to say real quick
for it.
before it gets lost in the chaos. One of the really neat things that Mickey Mania has going for it is that all the sprite work in this game, or at least the animations, they actually recruited a handful of veteran Disney animators to help with the sprite animations in this game.
I was gonna say, those look super smooth.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, like this was pretty much a trend that Disney and one of the few video game publishers that they relied on, Virgin Interactive, pretty much relied on for a good chunk of this time period, where they got professional animators to make the sprites for their game adaptations of movies or just stuff based on properties in general, like Mickey Mouse here.
Other noteworthy titles include the Pinocchio and Aladdin titles on the Genesis.
And the Lion King.
Yep.
And
Oh
the-
yeah.
So I'll leave chat to the other people.
Although,
who are in
real
our-
quick,
Go ahead.
the
Oh, geez.
whole thing with Aladdin, that's only for the Genesis.
Right.
The Super Nintendo was made by Capcom, and they use their own animations.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay.
So while we're here, Jordy, what are your experiences with the mouse as a cat?
Well, I've been watching Disney since I was a little girl.
Who
So
hasn't?
I would say with Mickey in general, where do I begin actually? I mean,
What would you say is like the first Mickey-related thing you ever remembered watching?
'Cause that is actually an interesting. Okay, not interesting, not to talk
if
about.
I had to guess, I want to say one of the fairy tale shorts or the silly symphonies. Like, I remember one specifically where Mickey was trying to orchestrate a concert, but then
the
at the
tornado.
night of the concert, Goofy accidentally crushes all their instruments, and it sounds very
Oh.
flat.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
Oh,
I
I
know
love
I know
that
band
one.
concert, which is the big. I need to watch that one. The one
that-
I know more. The one I know more famously is the tornado, the band concert.
Which is a
not the-
bonus level in Mickey Mania.
It is. It's a very it's very obtuse to get.
Oh,
though.
jeez. This
Yes,
is
it
a little,
is.
a little
Speaking of
claustrophobic.
things that are obtuse to get, wait till you get to the end of this little elevator section. It doesn't last too long, but don't fully
Gosh.
leave the elevator right when it gets to the end.
This is like freaking
Gotcha.
claustrophobic with this.
Yeah, though thankfully they give you just enough room for Mickey to wiggle out on, and that is other thing I will definitely give Mickey Mania. Like, say what you will, how it compares to other Mickey Mouse-centric games like Magical Quest or Castle of Illusion. This is this Mickey Mouse controls very fluidly.
What to do?
Back on the elevator.
Nope.
No.
Oh!
Going up.
Oh, hello. Is this it?
Yep, this is it.
Yep.
We just gotta go down the hole.
Make it go down the
Oh!
hole.
What are all the lights?
Where are the lights?
Where am I? Who are you people?
Oh, Northern Lights, guide me to my destination.
Yeah, I'm thinking of that one.
Aurora Boreal.
Oh,
Oh my
another
God.
Oh,
Mickey.
that's
Oh,
that was a little bit creepy.
oh, jeez, and he's here.
He found Mad Dr. Mickey, but he
Wait a
didn't stay for too long because he's a
Otherwise-
chicken git.
Otherwise, you go through a boss with the Mad Doctor. But yeah, we found him. Let's go.
Oh my goodness,
Well,
my
actually,
voice.
actually, we still have to deal with the Mad Doctor himself.
Oh.
That was
What
just
happens-
that's just a bonus for the sake of getting some extra ammunition and lives.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, to make a
okay.
concoction.
What's the concoction for?
A bomb.
It's to open the door. You'll see how in a minute.
Ow.
Only thing I don't like about this section is that bats always respawn.
Yeah, they do.
It's a lot. Okay.
I'll
Nice.
get
Let's
it
do it.
onto the fryer.
Heat up the Bunsen burner.
And
Cook to 500 degrees Fahrenheit. Wait for 10 seconds.
Irresponsibly turn on the TV and do something else while okay, it blows up.
And put it under
There
the
you go.
sun while it's in an eclipse.
Put the cake in the oven for a while. Oh, and actually, real quick, people that are fans of Epic Mickey, prepare to fangasm.
Oh,
It's the Mad Doctor!
Oh, I thought it was the blood, but it was the phantom blood.
It was the blood, but
No,
then it
not the
turned into
blood.
the Mad Doctor.
Hello. That's an interesting twist.
Yeah.
Buffering.
Yeah.
It was me.
Oh, it's buffering?
I was
Oh, it's
the
buffering?
Mad...
Here, maybe lower the resolution to 480. Right now we're
Yeah,
just fighting the Mad
360.
Doctor, which is a kid.
Which is fine.
Yeah,
It is-
I'm gonna
okay,
put
it's
it
working.
down to
Ouch.
140. Tell me what time.
Okay.
Okay, we're
Go
approaching...
to 11 minutes.
Yeah, go to 11.
Yeah.
All we're
We
doing
should
is
beat the Doctor by then.
all we're doing is just throwing marbles, and he flails the flask. You've seen it.
Yeah, and he's done.
So he just we
Welcome
fell
back.
down. The door opens, and we found Pluto. He's just walking
anyway.
away. Gui. All right,
4,
ready, Gui?
3,
3,
2,
2,
1,
1,
play.
play.
and yeah, we found
Pluto.
Pluto.
Who, unfortunately, is aside from Mickey and Pete, is the only other Disney character you'll encounter in this game.
Only classic Disney character, anyway.
Right? No Donald or Goofy to be found. Not even Minnie, which is kind of odd.
Aw,
What's
that's
this one?
sad.
What's this?
I just assumed they didn't have enough time. But now we're on to our next cartoon.
The
What
Moose
was it?
Hunters.
Oh,
Oh.
that one was a fun one too.
Moose Hunters.
I never
It
saw
was
it.
cute.
I never
I
saw
don't
that.
Anyway.
remember this one.
Pluto's going to be helping you out throughout this level, and be sure to watch him carefully because if he points backwards, that means... Well, first he's going to tell you... Okay. Now, I know it's going to
Follow
happen.
his tail.
There
Oh.
we go. Here comes a moose.
The
Okay.
moose is loose.
So whenever you see it, quickly jump. Okay. Oh. Well, but yeah, as you see, unless you can memorize and tell these hints, this is a very unforgiving game at some points.
Yes, it
Yeah.
can be.
So you're
It's
so
very
easy to get
pretty
reckless,
much
too.
Pitch perfect.
Which honestly, it's only about as hard. It's honestly really not that hard to memorize it. It definitely does take a few tries though, no doubt.
And
the
also
I would
rockets
say
are
the one
checkpoints.
point in the game where it starts getting borderline bullshit
Ow.
is right around the final level of the game.
Oh, and the
Yeah.
rockets are checkpoints. Go ahead, Hyde.
Well, that's what I was about to say.
Oh, okay. Celie, what has your experiences been like with Mickey Mouse? Like your first experiences?
Oh, there he is.
Oh,
Whoops. You know,
I don't remember what my first experience was.
I'm sorry, real quick. If Moose Hunter Mickey didn't reappear at that moment, I would have just assumed that the moose killed him.
He found
But-
he found Mickey, but he also found a moose.
Run!
Now we have the foresight to run away from this thing.
This is impressive
Yeah,
for Super
basically,
Nintendo.
pick up the apples to maintain your speed. Don't hit any obstacles, obviously, and
Um,
don't run in water either, because that'll slow you down too.
It's funny you mentioned that, Logan, because I'm actually playing the Sega Genesis version.
Oh, my bad. Well,
It should be
Nintendo
said
version's
that,
on two- oh,
it-
goodness.
It should be said that Mickey Mania was on quite a number of consoles, including the Sega Genesis, the CD, PlayStation, and Super Nintendo. Don't play the Super Nintendo version because they made a few dickheaded omissions from that version compared to the rest,
Oop.
and overall the quality just isn't quite as stellar.
Okay, play Genesis version. Don't listen to me. Moving on.
Or CD version, because that has more voice clips of Wayne All Wine.
Oh,
Right.
nice. So yeah, but you know, I'm with you, Celia. And the other thing is that, like, for all the big Disney stuff, I remember as a kid, I saw a lot of Disney movies, but ironically, there was a time around like the late '80s and early '90s that they just stopped making Disney things. They stopped making Disney. Not stopped making. They stopped making Mickey things. They started going for all their other movies.
Oh no! Oh no!
Come on!
I don't have the strength to keep going.
Oh, damn it!
Oh!
He seemed to
Let's try it again.
give him credit. He took that like a champ.
Oh gosh.
The one thing I truly remember is the Disney sing-along songs.
All those.
Oh,
And
yeah.
seeing the Mickey and Minnie mascots and, in those little short Disneyland films.
Oh yeah,
Yes, I
no, the
remember
Disneyland one. The
those.
Disneyland one was awesome. I have that on DVD.
Whoa.
The Disney one. There's the one where they go camping. The one where they go to the beach.
I remember the Christmas
Yeah, I
one.
remember those. That was a good
I
Christmas
never-
one. Yeah.
I say that, and I've never actually seen any of them all the way through.
Oh,
I think you might
I
want to
should
just
show you
jump
the
over some
Disneyland
of
one
those
then.
ones, James.
IG. But yeah, they kind of stopped doing the Mickey Mouse stuff entirely up until like House of Mouse, I think.
Yeah.
Well, technically, Mickey Mouse works.
Oh, I
well,
never saw that one.
it's pretty much the same thing, right? But
Well, it
that
came
being
first,
said,
though.
well, I know, but I'm just It is true though that for the longest time, I would say right around the 90s or so, maybe even earlier than that, like they treated Mickey less as like this big icon, but well, okay, I shouldn't say it's more like that. It's more so the fact that he was mostly treated as like something for the sake of. He was mostly just a face for advertising.
Yeah. Which is why with these Mickey shorts, I'm glad they're going back to some fun stuff.
Oh yeah, I agree very much so. I think that.
Oh boy.
That just.
Here comes rule number 2.
I really do appreciate the shorts' existence because
Speaking of
otherwise, it's always sad to me that whenever people think of Mickey, they always just think, oh yeah, he's that one happy-go-lucky mouse that just gets his face plastered on like branding for waffles, diapers, toys, you name it.
Or they think of Mickey Mouse Clubhouse.
Whoa.
Oh yeah.
Which made him like a baby thing, which he's not. He's a mischievous little mouse.
He is.
Yeah, and actually, in the 20s, he got it up to all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
Also, how are you expected to get those extra lives back there?
I kind of hate.
I don't know.
Whoop.
I kind of hate to say this, but look at how Family Guy portrays him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or South Park.
Or South Park with the freaking what was
Jonas
it?
Brothers.
The Jonas Brothers. That was weird.
Anyway, just going back to welcome to wall number 2 in Mickey Mania, which is based on one of my personal favorite Mickey shorts.
The Lonesome Ghosts.
Ow.
Honestly, I just like the shorts in general, where they always have Mickey, Donald, and Goofy be the focus.
Yeah,
those
they
are
play
fun.
off each other wonderfully.
Although,
I was
And
gonna say,
wondering-
is this?
Oh.
I'm sorry. What were you
Go
I
ahead,
saying?
was
Jordy.
gonna say, although, like, I think, besides those, my favorite Disney shorts have always been the ones with Donald.
Oh yeah, he's a fun guy. Oh, the one with
Yeah.
the gorilla.
Whoop.
The one
Oh
with
yeah,
ma-
with the
one with
gorilla
Mad
on the loose.
Yeah, with the tear bombs. Anyway, sorry. What were you saying, Jordy?
All I was gonna ask was, is this the
That
one? Is this the episode where the ghosts call up Donald, Goofy, and Mickey to
As ghost
ghost
hunters.
hunt?
But
Yeah.
instead, they just want to haunt them.
Yeah.
I was gonna say not that. Not that. What I was trying to do earlier was I was trying to impersonate one of Hype's favorite lines. Or I like that line too. Is when he gets slammed in the door. It's,
I'm
anyway,
telling
there's-
you guys, whenever you do your Donald voices, I can never tell between the two. It's scary.
That's fair. It also
Did somebody
reminds-
say scary?
But yeah, no, but I remember the way they did the ghost voices was really creepy to me. It's like they talked into metal
Oh,
pots.
this part,
boy.
this fucking part right
Oh,
here.
Oh,
yeah.
jeez, what's happening?
I think I remember seeing
Oh, no.
this.
Yeah,
Why
be
is
careful
this
with the
hard?
barrel because it will sink over time.
Right.
And what happens if we're in the water?
You start taking damage.
Yeah,
Jeez.
Ooh.
it's clear poison apparently.
Because I guess mice can't swim.
So you gotta move, James. So yeah, my
Sad thing is the barrel's already even the worst part about this section.
is it the
Yeah, it's
ghost?
the enemy placement, honestly.
Okay, admittedly I was jumping ahead there, but yeah, we're done with this barrel part. But now we gotta go up the steps. Oh yeah, and it was immediately obvious. The rockets are your checkpoints.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
we mentioned that ago.
Sorry.
So James, what
Fine.
was your experience like with the mouse?
Oh boy, where do I even begin? Well, first let me say this is the section I'm talking about because these guys
Yeah.
start spawning incessantly. And hello, Haunted Mansion.
Oh look, Sealy, it's the hanging portraits from
yeah.
Haunted Mansion.
Oh yeah, I like
They
that.
start spawning rather frequently, and well, they throw their heads at you, but it can come to points where they can literally sandwich Mickey, and that
Yeah.
can lead to some very unfair damage.
I'm assuming the
taken.
marbles don't count.
Yeah.
They
They
can't
don't.
be used.
Yeah,
The,
because they're
the
ghosts.
ghosts are completely invincible, but they do look
Yeah.
rather nice.
Oh yeah.
They
Uh,
look nice, but they aren't nice.
Nope.
Basically, they're just mischievous too mischievous for their own good. But anyway, I don't even know where to begin with my own experiences with Mickey Mouse. Like, I want to say my first major exposure with them was mostly with the Disney Channel, and back when they were actually airing the earlier shorts. Like, they had a whole segment based off all that.
Oh,
That's like the earliest I can
Just
remember
move.
of all that.
Aw.
But otherwise, it's
Oh,
hard for
just
me to
continue.
pinpoint where I had my beginnings with them. Like, there's a lot I can look back on. There was that. There was Magical Tetris Challenge. There was I think my biggest exposure with the mouse was mostly with the Mickey Mouse Works / House of Mouse series.
Uh-huh. I really got back into
And
him.
it just went on from there.
I really got back into Mickey with Epic Mickey, stuff like that.
That's fair.
Also, as you've noticed, the live system in this game is kind of weird. Where like, with like lives, sometimes you'll just respawn right back there. Oh,
Uh-oh.
what are you doing?
Why is he running into the wall?
What?
Because he doesn't know any better.
Okay, we've
He's been
rescued
rescued
him.
and Mickey has escaped.
That might have been a part from the short that I didn't remember.
Possibly.
Probably.
Well, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, that is only part 1 of our re-adventure into Mickey Mania. Stay tuned for part 2, where we literally tackle the last 2 levels in the game. Till next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Who are you gonna call? I don't know.